Rajiv, Team India is the most incredible team on this planet. They don't stop at anything. The numbers just kept flowing until the last day of the fiscal. They have been unstoppable. Let me add a little bit of color to what you just said. When we look at growth rates across A14, India stands number one from a sell in perspective, and number two, just a tad slower than Canada from a sell through perspective. Green has been the color of the day, and we have seen broad based growth across all segments and all solution areas. Team India, thank you for making FY21 yet another best year ever. And this has been possible by the incredible effort done by each one of you. Let's look at the growth by every segment. When we look at EC grew at 29% year over year. Very strong execution and very good momentum built on modern workplace out of cycle sales. We have also seen several large DT deals land during the year. ACR continued to grow north of 70% year over year across our strategics as well as majors. Now, moving on to public sector. We have seen the external environment being very tough for this segment. Yet, the team has done an incredible job of growing year over year at 16%. And this has been possible by going after those large deals and improved execution rigor. In fact, it was amazing to see how the team has almost closed the quarter midway during June. Amazing job, team public sector. Now, let's move to SMCC. Kudos to this entire team SMCC. You have done an amazing job in FY21. They grew the segment at 30.5%, and this is the fastest growing segment across India. On the top of that, they are growing number one across A14. And I should say that this increased focus in terms of say-do ratio as well as improved mal penetration in SMCC. Now let's move to SMB. What can I say? This team has been severely impacted in Q4, despite the fact they have actually bounced back. And we have seen the team kept going until the last day. We have seen really good progress in terms of the work done by our term team. Startups have done an incredible job. We have also seen CSP gain some momentum in Q4. Thank you, team SMB. We have all where I should also call out that our startup team have grown ECR at 75% year over year, and not to mention several large mark deals that they have closed during the year, whether it's builder.ai or daily hunt. Thank you team SMB. Now let's also cover a little bit around our mark performance. And for the first time again ever, we have actually beat our mark budget by almost 140% of our budget. And we closed several such large unique deals, whether it is builder.ai, daily hunt, GEP, iCertis, several of them. And it was also been a little bit of more broad-based growth across many accounts. Thank you, team, for your relentless focus on driving our bookings. Now, our DPSS team has done an incredible job of driving digital adoption as our customers move to work from home and students move to learn from home. Thank you. Now, let's look at if the story is the same when you look at it vertical levels. Yes, it is. When you look at each one of those verticals, every single vertical is green. There is some work for us to do in our education sector, but that said, they have plans to bounce back as we move into FY22. But incredible job across every single vertical, showing the growth across, and many of them growing double digits. Now let's look at solution areas. Are solution area growths any different? No, they're all green. We see green across every single solution area. When we look at MCS, we have seen several accounts where we have driven depth motion, large deal execution across, and the size of the deals have increased over the year in FY21. In our support business, we have this has been powered by value selling in unified and enhanced solution, and we have also seen very good recapture rate across our renewals. When we move to modern workplace, our core cloud growth grew at 24% year over year, and India is number one, and it's driven on the back of dark to cloud motion, out of cycle sales, and a lot of frontline worker motions. And I do want to call out our Surface team. They have done number one across A14 from a growth perspective, and they have beat the budget by 65%. Incredible job done by this team. Let's look at BizApps. This business, we have been investing in this business in FY21, and we have also seen this business grow already at number one across A14. We beat our budget. We are growing the fastest across worldwide. And there's a lot of momentum on the back of CRM and Power Apps, and good momentum in BFSI. We, in fact, closed the largest deal ever in Microsoft from India. And this very broad-based momentum across many verticals. Thank you, BizApps team. Let's shift gears to ACR. ACR continues to be our largest growth driver across our solution areas. We are growing north of 60% from a YOY perspective, ranked number 3 across A14. And we have 9 accounts exceeding $10 million in FY21. This is momentous, and we have seen really strong growth across many verticals, name it ITES, Unicorn. In addition to this club, we've also added the BFSI vertical growing north of 100% plus, and our startups gaining momentum and growing at 75%. Our startup team has almost doubled their business in FY21. A lot of momentum on the back of Azure Virtual Desktop and SAP on Azure workloads. Overall, fantastic performance by each one of you in making FY21 the best year ever. Thank you, and I'm very grateful for this. Now, as we look at FY22, let's look at, we are coming on the back of 3 wonderful years, and there's a huge momentum that we have built, and we are hoping that this momentum will be carried forward into FY22. While the budgets are what they are, and as you see, we have got a very generous budget in H1. So the focus for us is actually going to be our own aspiration in terms of continuing the momentum that we have built in the last 3 years and taking it forward to FY22. And with that, I would love to share that for the first time ever, the investments that are made in FY22 are growing faster than our revenue budget, which shows that we have a huge potential in front of us, Team India. So in the end, I would actually like to finish by saying that to accomplish good things, we must not only act, but we should also dream, not only plan, but also believe. And I believe in all of you that we will make FY22 yet another best year ever. Thank you so much, and all the very best.